Hey kindergarten friends, ready for your next art lesson? So we've been looking and talking about patterns, and last week we finally got to start looking at our big fall project. And then last week you practiced some of the patterns that we'll use in the trees. This week you're going to start with spring. So let's take a look. So this is my spring picture. So spring, and then we've got summer, and then we have fall and winter. So what is our difference between summer and spring? That's right, it's going to be the storm or the rain. So on a piece of paper, I'm going to show you how we're going to cover the whole page with our spring, grass, sky, and the clouds. Don't worry about our trees right now. So I'm going to use my blue crayon, my gray crayon, and my green crayon. So you should have something to color with. It doesn't have to be crayons. I'm using crayons, but it doesn't have to be crayons. I'm going to turn my paper just a little bit. So first, create the ground. This is where our trees are going to start. And then we're going to color. And make sure that all from the top of from the line down to the bottom of the page is all colored in. Next, I'm going to create some storm clouds or some rain clouds at the top of the page. And once again, I'm going to color those in. And the last thing actually it's not the last thing, but I am going to color the sky blue, but I want you to watch. I'm not going to stop the sky at the top. I'm going to make this sky come all the way down to the bottom. The sky is going to go all the way down and touch the ground. One of the common mistakes that my little guys in kindergarten usually do is they stop the sky right up here. Nope. We're going to make the sky go all the way down to the ground. Ta-da! See, I have the sky all the way down. I filled up the whole page already, and that's just from coloring the background. Now I'm going to take my blue crayon and I'm going to draw some raindrops coming down. I'll make that a little bit darker to see. There we go. That's better. All right. So that's the first part for our spring picture. The next thing you're going to need to do is cut some shapes out of some green paper. This can be green paper like construction paper, like this. Or if you just need to color a sheet of paper green and use it to cut, that's fine. So let's look at some of these shapes that we can cut out for our trees. We've got a big oval, a smaller oval, a long skinny oval, a kind of a triangle shape, kind of a triangle, and then I've done a circle. I've also done this little very triangular one, but you only need to pick out 5 trees to cut. If you want to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you don't need that one. Or you can switch and only do those. Or you can take that one down. Or you can switch that and put that one back. Those are going to be our trees for this time. So I'm going to stick with these as my trees. And I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue. Put your glue on the back of the tree first. Now, the short trees need to be kind of close to the ground. Not on the ground, because then it would be a bush, but then a little bit, maybe up. Right about there. It's okay if it goes over the ring. Then I'm going to pick my next one, and I'm going to put this guy, actually I think I'm going to put this guy down here at the end. And I'm going to take my long oval friend here. I'm going to put him right up there. So far, none of my trees are touching the green. That's good. That's what we want. And then I'm going to put this one. It's okay if they have to touch or overlap. Overlap means one of them is in front of the other, as you can see here, and I think this guy's going to have to overlap too. And that's okay, because trees don't usually, trees when they're, you know, out in the forest, don't grow in perfect straight lines. It's okay if they overlap each other. So now that I've got my trees down, I'm going to do my patterns. So find your patterns that you did last time and pick some of the patterns to draw. I'm going to do, now this is a little important. Because this guy is in front of the little one, I'm going to make sure that I'm not drawing his pattern on top of him. So I'm only going to do on that one, and then because I was going to do the rest of that. Ta-da! Now I can take my glue stick and make sure he stays down. And you can see there's a little spot where he's touching and he's overlapping. Again, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Let's see, what's another one I can do for this one? I'm going to do and then this one kind of. So now I've got 2 trees with 2 different patterns on it. And let's look. Well, remember, now this guy is on top of him. So I'm going to make sure that whatever pattern I draw on this one doesn't come over here on this one. So let's do, Alright, remember, you can come up with your own patterns. You don't have to be copying mine. I've just found some that I liked and I wanted to use. So next, for this guy, I'm going to do a pattern that goes bump, bump. But I'm making sure that I don't go into the other one because he's overlapping which means I can't see all. And then I've got one more left. I've got one guy down here, so I'm going to do a, there was one tree, well, there we go, got that. Then I'm going to put someone that looks like a bunch of Y's. Now, I'm going to draw the tree trunks. You want the tree trunk to come down a little bit past the green. They don't all have to be the same size. But you don't want anybody with a floating tree. That doesn't make any sense. That tree trunk needs to come down to the ground. And if you want to come back through with your line and you want to, or your blue crayon, and you want to make some rain on top of your trees, you can make some rain coming down. And then at the very bottom, we will write ta-da! That's your project for this week. We're just going to work on spring. Thanks, guys.